Okay.
What is up, boxing fans around the world? Fight Hype Live, back at it again from the office here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Huge fights going on throughout the day. Great championship level boxing. We've had some long boxing days in the past, but few as meaningful as what we're getting tonight. But really excited for getting this kicked off with Mikaela Mayer versus Alicia Baumgardner. You know, Taylor Serrano really set the tone for what is going to go down as the biggest year in women's boxing's history by selling out Madison Square Garden in April. But I'm actually even more excited for tonight's doubleheader than I was for Taylor Serrano. This fight, that fight was sold very much about the big picture of women's boxing and one historic fight between one 8 division champion and a 2-time gold medalist. But there's more humanity to tonight's rivalries on a more human level. It's just personal animosity. There's history between all 4 of these fighters. You know, Baumgardner and Mayer never fought like Marshall and Shields did, but they know each other from the amateurs. Both claim envy on each side. But here comes Mikaela Mayer after Alicia Baumgardner is already in the ring. She came in with the Hector Macho Camacho kind of a skirt-like trunks. And she's already in the ring, the WBC super featherweight champion. And here comes Mikaela Mayer, the unified super lightweight or super featherweight champion of the world. Mayer tonight is the favorite. She has the superior experience. She's the bigger woman, and she has the Olympic bronze medal. But Baumgardner has been boxing since she was 8, 10 years younger than when Mayer started at 18 years old. And Baumgardner is the better natural athlete, great coordination, better puncher. Great hand speed, but Mayer maybe more technically sound, keeps her hands up, has that great USA boxing kind of fundamentals drilled into her style, knows how to use her height, can fight going forward, can fight on the outside with her jab. So this is just a great contrast of styles and personalities. And Mayer is now in the ring, decked out in all red, had a tribute to the Spice Girls on her way in. But she is the lady in red, the WBO and IBF Ring Magazine undefeated unified super featherweight champion Mikaela Mayer, and she's taking on Baumgardner, who isn't the unified champ, only has 1 belt to Mayer's 2, but she does have the most prestigious belt in boxing. I think most would agree, the WBC title. So let's see what we get, and let's see what's up, chat, so far. We get ready for a huge day of boxing. What's going on here? All right, forget it. Well, my phone wants to be funny and not give me the live chat. But both fighters in the ring now. Again, Baumgardner, short type of skirt, trunks like Hector Macho Camacho had on, very confident, smile, brimming with confidence. Mikaela Mayer, more stone-faced, more serious kind of demeanor, definitely more serious type of demeanor, but Baumgardner oozing confidence and grinning in her corner. Former WBC super welterweight world champion, also from Michigan, Tony Harrison in her corner. See if I can get you guys in on the chat here, see what you guys are saying early on. Jay Grant says Baum be looking good. Jahan Reed says, I got Baumgardner's on points tonight. Yeah, we'll see. I look, they polled, I think, 16 riders, and 14 of them had Mayer winning. The books have Mayer as a favorite, but when you watch the tape, Baumgardner is just the more naturally talented fighter. She's got great coordination, good punching power, and can fight out of the shoulder roll, of course, being from Michigan. But Mayer, with that great USA boxing pedigree, hands up, fights inside and outside, knows how to go to the body. And Mayer is banking on her superior conditioning and work rate. She thinks in the second half of the fight, that's where it'll be hers. But this first half of the fight in particular should be very dangerous for Mikaela Mayer. She's got to be careful that she can't be as easy to hit and as easy to find as she was against Maiva Hamadouche when she had her, or Hamadouche, as we say in America. She can't be as easy to find as she was that night. She'll walk into too many right hands from Baumgardner, and Baumgardner can hurt her, unlike Hamadouche. She has power to change the fight. So Really interested to see this one getting going. Both fighters have been introduced, and they're about to come to the center of the ring. Mikaela Mayer with head coach Al Mitchell in her corner. Baumgardner with Tony Harrison, former world champion, behind her. Mayer towering over Baumgardner in the center ring stare down. Definitely the taller woman. Probably a fighter that can do good going up to 135 pounds, but has she been boiling down to 130 too much? Will Baumgardner, despite being the shorter woman, be the stronger woman tonight? Have the more explosive punching power, or will Mayer's conditioning, her combination punching, her stamina overwhelm her in the second half of the fight? This should be a good one. Been so much animosity and buildup. Round one, and here we go. Both fighters in that orthodox stance. Baumgardner, left hand, lead hand, low by the waist. Mayer, hands up high. Contrast the styles there immediately as expected. Baumgardner shooting a nice jab to the body off the feint. Baumgardner again getting with a jab to the body. Mayer feinting back at her. Baumgardner short with a jab to the head. Center ring, only 2-minute rounds for 10 rounds in women's boxing, as we all know. Baumgardner looking confident, launches the first right hand over the top and does club Kayla on the side and the top of the head a little bit there. Baumgardner so far with a good first minute of the fight. Baumgardner taking the fight a little bit too. Mayer pops her jab out and lands it on Mayer. That up jab, Mayer struggling a little bit early with Baumgardner, but gets her own jab in. First jab for Mayer. Now she doubles and triples it up and sends it to the body of Baumgardner, who backs her way out of range. That's it for the first minute. Baumgardner with the advantage there. Second minute of the round, here we are now. Baumgardner, both hands low, shoots a jab to the body, but falls short. Mayer steps out, now steps back in, falls short with her jab up top. Lots of good feigning from both fighters. Baumgardner with that grin on her face still. Baumgardner with an overhand right, and it lands a little bit over the top on Mikaela Mayer. 30 seconds left in the round. This is Baumgardner's round early on. Jab to the body for Mayer. Good jab lands for Mayer as Baumgardner tried to go to the body with her jab. Mayer able to catch it and land a jab there. Now Mayer shoots her first straight right hand, but it falls just short with it, but was just off with it. Baumgardner feinting, 10 seconds left. Now Baumgardner backs out. Good defense from Baumgardner as she pivots out to her left, feints. Mayer feints. Ooh, right hand. Just a little short for Alicia Baumgardner. She was able to land two on the kind of grazing, but on the clubbed Mayer on the top, on the side, looping it over the top of Mayer, and did a good job twice with that right hand. Also a little bit out jab Mayer, had the superior feints, knew when to feint her way in and out of range, a little bit more savvy than Mikaela Mayer. As expected early on, that athleticism and coordination and talent of Baumgardner, a lot to handle. Al Mitchell, very, very imposing in the corner, very serious with his fighter, instructing her. And we'll see if Mayer can make the adjustments, but it's 10-9 Alicia Baumgardner after that first round on my card. All right. Again, and Mayer expects this fight to go her way in the second half. Perhaps she expected Baumgardner to be tough early on. A little reddening around the nose already for Mikaela Mayer after that first round. Here we go, round two. And we'll see if Mayer can adjust. 7-3 connect advantage for Baumgardner in round one by CompuBox. 7 out of 27 to 3-22 for Mikaela Mayer. Neither fighter landing. 1-2 shot by Mikaela Mayer, but she kept her head down and kind of caught a jab by Alicia Baumgardner. Then Baumgardner shoots a right hand over the top and misses just short. Mayer starting to put that pressure on, but Baumgardner smiling and has her right hand cocked, trying to measure her and line her up for it coming in. Baumgardner tries a check hook as Mayer steps in with a jab. Mayer putting the pressure on a little bit more. Check hook for Baumgardner, and Mayer gets her hand up to block, but then Baumgardner digs to the body well. Another right hand to the body for Baumgardner. Mayer getting her elbow in to block the left hook to the body after it. Double jab for Mayer, backs Baumgardner up. Second jab got in. Mayer would be wise to use that double jab more. Ooh, nice lead left hook for Alicia Baumgardner. Showing the arsenal, and then a right hand over the top of Mikaela Mayer's jab lands for Baumgardner. Mayer going to have to turn up. Oh, big combinations. by Alicia Baumgardner. Mayer kind of walking in head first into those shots, keeping her hands up so she's not catching them full on, but it's about to be 2-zip for Alicia, but good up jab by Alicia Baumgardner, and then she digs a right hand to the body. Mayer trying to come back, but Baumgardner makes her catch her shoulder and then falls into a clinch. Mayer trying to be rough in the clinch, but Baumgardner holding her own with the bigger Mayer in the clinch. Both giving some good business in the clinch there. Jab lands for Mayer. Baumgardner jabs with her. 10 seconds left in this round, and it's about to be 2-0 Baumgardner. Good jab lands for Mayer, but the right hand falls short, and she's flailing a little bit with her head down there. Right hand over the top for Baumgardner, and that's it for round 2. Just Baumgardner catching Mayer coming in like she said she would. More talent, a little more athletic on the outside, and her feints keeping Mayer guessing a little bit with her range, and just catching Mayer when she comes in sometimes with her head down when she throws her punches. And a couple of good body shots by Baumgardner mixed in halfway through that round too. 20-18, Alicia Baumgardner, the underdog, off to a good start here. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Yeah, Baumgardner outboxing Mayer early on. Yeah. Counterpunching and having the superior feints. And even though she's shorter and has the shorter arms, she's out-jabbing Michaela. She knows what she has better timing, and she's mixing up her levels to the body and to the head with it better. So Mayer looks like her best bet is to pick up the pace and, like she said, to take it to that second and third gear that she feels Baumgardner doesn't have. Behind the double jab, she's got to back her up behind the double jab. And we'll see what we get here in round 3. 11-1 connect advantage for Alicia Baumgardner in round 2. Big round. Good start for her. Mayer starting with the jab of the body, and Baumgardner trying to time her own up jab to the head. Good up jab for... Ooh, and now Baumgardner is smiling as she lands 2 jabs on Michaela Mayer. She is mean in there, folks. Right hand over the top of Michaela Mayer's jab lands for Baumgardner. And Mayer looking a little weary, a little bit in the eyes, and Baumgardner oozing confidence. Mayer can't afford to get discouraged. The pressure fighter is going to find success in the second half, if at all. She can't let herself get too discouraged with Baumgardner getting off to this good start here. Mayer coming forward behind some jabs here, but Baumgardner good defensively. Pivoting out to her left, circling to her left and to her right, trying to tag her right hands over the top of Mayer's jab. Mayer not getting caught as much this round in that first minute. So a little bit closer round here in the third. 50 seconds left in the third round. Good up jab by Baumgardner. Mayer blocking the up jab there. Baumgardner crouching down, that lead hand by her hip. Jabs twice to the body and knows when to tie up Mayer. Mayer looking frustrated because she tried to step in and got tied up after eating a jab to the body. Good jab lands for Baumgardner, and a straight right hand lands for Mayer, but not a lot of power on it. They trade jabs. Now a hard jab by Baumgardner through the center. Another jab, and she makes Mayer wing a right hand and miss, and she talks shit to her after it. Now Mayer lands a jab. Mayer comes in with a right hand, but she eats a hard left hook after that, and Baumgardner continues to talk to her. And then she throws an up jab. Mayer coming behind her jab twice. Another jab by Mayer. Trying to push the pace like she needs to. Right hand gets to the body for Baumgardner, but a hard right hand to the body for Mayer to close round 3, but it's 30-27. Alicia Baumgardner. The question just becomes, can she maintain this pace? Or will Mayer be proven right about that second gear? But so far, the talent, the boxing ability, the savvy, the feints, the up jab, tagging her with right hands coming in, and then sometimes letting out a nice left hook, sometimes leading with it, sometimes catching her, checking her with it coming in. Baumgardner, the superior fighter through 3 rounds, just a better professional. Let's see if Mayer, with pressure and pace, can change this as the fight goes on. But if Baumgardner has a really good gas tank, pushing the pace might just make it more of an onslaught for Baumgardner to walk Mayer into more and more shots. We'll see. But Mayer's got to find some answers here because it's 30-27 Alicia Baumgardner after 3. And there's no way to have it anywhere else. These aren't swing rounds. All right, round 4. Baumgardner did a lot of talk in that round after kind of starting to dominate Mayer. Baumgardner stepping off to her left, stepping off to her right. She outlanded Mayer 13-10 in the third round, so a more competitive round, but still a round for Baumgardner. Mayer coming in behind her jab, but Baumgardner doing a good job stepping off to the side, getting out of the way of it. And jabbing with Michaela at times with good timing with her up jab. Michaela trying to pick up that pace. Good jab to the body from Michaela. Staying on top. Jab lands good from Michaela there. Baumgardner backing out to her left. Baumgardner short with that right hand. Now Michaela fires a 1-2 over the top, and Baumgardner rolling with it, but Mayer starting to build a little bit of steam in the fourth. Good jab to the body by Baumgardner. She steps off to the right. Doesn't let Mayer get her feet set. Mayer eats a right hand, but lands her jab. Oh, good right hand lands for Mayer on the inside, and now she lets her hands go in combination. Baumgardner moving her head well to get out of the way of the 1-2-3, but Mayer perhaps finally starting to get around, going her way now. They trade jabs. Both fighters get their heads lifted up. Mayer showing some grit here, staying forward, staying consistent. Good double jab from Alicia Baumgardner as she circles out to her left as Mayer trying to pick that pace up. Little over 30 seconds left in the round. Mayer needs this round. Mayer short with the jab as Baumgardner steps off to her right. Sometimes she steps off to the right, sometimes steps off to the left. Uses the right hand to parry, keeps the left hand at her hip, ready to fire that up jab. Baumgardner switches southpaw momentarily. On the move, 1-2 lands for Mayer, and then a left hook. Mayer finally definitely winning a round. That was a good 1-2-3 for Mayer. Baumgardner staying on the outside, eats a jab, eats another jab, shoots a right hand over the top, but Mayer comes back with her right hand and digs to the body. Good big final minute of the round for Michaela Mayer. She needed that. She gets off the snide 3-1, 39-37. Alicia Baumgardner, maybe Mayer starting to, like she said, pick up that pace and get to that second and third gear that she feels she has, that Baumgardner doesn't. She's not the more athletic fighter or really the more savvy pro in terms of the shoulder roll and the different looks and the up jab and counter punching, walking you into shots. But she can be busy, and relentless, and that's what it's going to take for her to turn this thing around. And she was able to do that in the final minute. On the replay, hard straight right hand and left hook landed for Mayer in the final 30 seconds of that round. So 39-37 for the Detroit fighter, Alicia Baumgardner. But Mayer maybe going to start swinging this momentum around. Let's see here. Right, turn off. All right, round 5. Mayer, can she keep it going, or will Baumgardner re-seize control of the fight? Nice jab to the body by Baumgardner. Set it up with a jab up top. Mayer getting her hands up to block the jab up top, but Baumgardner stuck it down to the stomach. And Mayer collapsing to the ground a little bit in the clinch. No knockdown. Ref makes him resume action. Another jab to the body by Baumgardner. Trying to reestablish control of range there. Jab lands up top for Michaela Mayer. Been a good battle of the jabs tonight for both. 2-3 jabs by Baumgardner. Mayer and Baumgardner exchanging right hands 2-3 times, 4 times in a row. Both fighters exchanging right hands. Baumgardner smiling, saying, "I'll take that exchange all day." But then Mayer jams a jab into her mouth and then jabs to the right hand over the top lands for Michaela Mayer. Nice straight right hand over that low left of Alicia Baumgardner. Good first minute. Good exchange of the right hand by both fighters. Right hand lands for Mayer, and Baumgardner tries to counterpunch with her right hand, but Mayer got her hands up. This time, Baumgardner walks Mayer into a right hand. She got the exchange off that time. Now she lands her jab. Shoots a little straight right to the body. Mayer lands her right hand up top, and then a left hook up top off the 1-2. Jab lands for Mayer. Mayer trying to just pick up that pace. Straight right hand for Baumgardner. Mayer kind of walked into it, but Mayer landing as good as she's getting this round, and she's the one carrying the pace and on the front foot. Good up jab for Baumgardner there. Good action in the 5th. Now Mayer takes a step back, shoots her jab back in, circles to her right, trying to use some of her legs now. Parries the jab, and they trade jabs. Good jabs by both fighters. 1-2 lands for Michaela, but a jab back by Baumgardner. 10 seconds left in the 5th. They trade 1-2s. They trade again. Baumgardner walking Michaela into the right hand. Michaela lands the better jab that time. And a good 5th round. Good competitive action-filled round. Best round of the fight. I think Mayer, though, she's the one that carried the pace. brought the fight to Baumgardner. I think she got off a little bit more. The landed punches was about equal, but Mayer, a little busier, I think got that round. So 3-2, 48-47, Alicia Baumgardner won those first 3 rounds. I think Mayer definitely won the 4th, and she did enough to take that 5th. So 3-2 right now after 5. Yep, 48-47, Alicia Baumgardner. Fight definitely heating up. And it's been good high-speed chess, good battle of the jab. The up jab from Baumgardner, the jab out of the high guard, doubling it up. Both fighters doubling it up sometimes. Baumgardner working her levels with it better than Mayer, but Mayer kind of with a won't take no for an answer attitude right now, just trying to use pressure to bust pipes. All right, here we go now into round 6. Baumgardner with the lead, Mayer with maybe a little momentum. Mayer stepping in with her jab low, and last round saw a 14-14 even connect punch output for both fighters. 1-2-3 lands for Mayer here in the 6th. That's a jab, straight right, left hook. Starting to get off with that combination a little bit on Baumgardner. Mayer busier in these first 30 seconds. Took the fight to Baumgardner and was busier. Baumgardner switching southpaw for a minute. Now she switches back orthodox. Makes Mayer miss her double jab as she circles out to her right. Now Baumgardner eats a straight right hand as she tried to walk Mayer into one. Mayer lands a left hook to the body and then a little left hook to the body again. Baumgardner punching with her free hand to the body in the clinch. Baumgardner letting this get away from her a little bit in terms of letting Mayer come forward and give the appearance to the judges that, she's the busier one. Good left uppercut, though, for Baumgardner. Beautiful. As she probed with her distance, just touched, and then bang, shot a left uppercut in there. 45 seconds left in the 6th. Close round right now. Mayer digging in with 2 shots to the body in the clinch. Not full throttle, but using those free hands to punch. Mayer shoots off a 1-2. Good defense by Baumgardner. Now she shoots a right hand to Baumgardner's body, and Baumgardner just off with a right uppercut. Mayer with a nice right hand to the body off the jab. Mayer again with another jab, right hand to the body. Then she brings it up top, but Baumgardner moving her head, doesn't eat the right hand. Left hook lands for Mayer after missing the right hand. Mayer winning the 6th round with 10 seconds left. Baumgardner needs a shot here. And she doesn't get it off, and actually Mayer lands a jab and a right hand at the bell for Baumgardner. But again, that second and third gear that Mayer is talking about is a little, just given the appearance that she's throwing more, even if CompuBox isn't showing it, because last round it looked like Mayer threw more than Baumgardner, but Baumgardner actually threw 41-39, and they both landed 14. But when you're on that front foot, sometimes it gives a good appearance to the judges. Baumgardner taking some deep breaths in the corner now before the 7th. Not quite as cocky as she was in the first 2 or 3 rounds in the corner. Now she's in a fight, and what looks to be an even fight. I gave Baumgardner the first 3. I gave Mayer the last 3. The 4th was clearly Mayer's. The 5th was close. I gave it to Mayer, and the 6th was competitive, but I also gave it to Mayer. Interesting to see what CompuBox had there in the 6th round. I got it even after 6. Thank you, Supreme General. Baumgardner way better than advertised. Well, I think anybody who watched tape on Baumgardner knew she was a tremendous talent heading into this fight, and that this was really pretty much a 50-50 fight. Yeah, CompuBox had it 12-8 connect advantage for Mayer in the 6th round. They got it 60-60 on CompuBox and landed shots. Double jab lands for Mayer to start this 7th round. Baumgardner coming back with a 1-2-1. Mayer keeping her hands up well to block those straight punches from Baumgardner, but the jab did get through on the 1-2-1. Baumgardner picking up her aggressiveness a little bit now. They fall in the clinch 30 seconds into the 7th round. Right hand over the top of Mayer's jab lands for Baumgardner. Right hand to the body lands for Mayer as she ducked underneath the left hook from Alicia Baumgardner. Baumgardner, big right hand for Baumgardner, trying to load up. Another straight right hand lands for Alicia Baumgardner. Mayer not getting the better of those exchanges when they wing their right hands. 1-2-1 lands for Baumgardner, and the jab really knocked Mayer's head up. Baumgardner having a much-needed round. Nice 1-2 lands for Baumgardner, and Mayer Baumgardner getting her head off the line in the exchanges to land her shots and not eat what's coming back. Baumgardner having a good 7th round, just missed with a right uppercut, but she came back with the left hook and landed. Mikaela Mayer bleeding over her right eye right now. Mayer keeping her hands up, blocking some of the hooks from Baumgardner. Now she shoots a right hand, but Baumgardner, good slick defense, getting away from the 1-2s of Mayer. She spins out, lands a right hand to Mayer's body. Baumgardner with a good 7th round, good head movement by Alicia Baumgardner, and she nails Mikaela Mayer with a straight right hand after making her miss. Beautiful with moving her head off the line right to left. Now Mayer lands a straight right off the jab, but Baumgardner rolling some of the steam off of it. Big round for Alicia Baumgardner. She stopped that momentum. Good defense by Alicia Baumgardner this round. Mayer just threw a nice hook off the jab, but Baumgardner made her miss clean on both. 4-3, Alicia Baumgardner, just when it looked like it could have started getting away from her. 67-66 for Alicia Baumgardner. Yeah, that was a big one for Alicia Baumgardner. I thought she lost 3 rounds in a row after getting a 3-0 lead, but she had a sense for the moment there. I bet she had an internal scorecard in her head and probably knew, okay, I won those first 3. They may have gave her those last 3. I need time to turn it on now in these championship rounds. So 3 rounds left. Baumgardner has a 4-3 edge, but Mayer has been the better fighter in the last 3 to 4 rounds. She's been the one pushing the pace. So let's see if she can get that momentum back her way, or if Baumgardner has reestablished control. That looks like it could be very possible. Mayer is bleeding over her right eye now, and she ate some good right hands that round. Baumgardner still looking like she regained some of her mojo after that 7th round. Keeping her right hand high to parry. She had a 13-7 connect advantage that round in the 7th. Baumgardner really had good defense in the 7th. Let's see if she keeps it up here. Makes Mayer miss with her double jab to start. She tries to check Mayer with a left hook twice. Getting creative with her offense is Alicia Baumgardner and her counterpunching. Baumgardner looking confident, like she knows her range and she can walk Mayer into something big here. Mayer winging and missing a jab and a right hand to the body. Well short. Baumgardner steps in with her up jab twice. Mayer steps in with a couple body shots. Baumgardner with a nice check left hook on the inside. Wings a big right uppercut and throws a combination off of it. Mayer getting her hands up and shaking her head. No, that didn't land, but that scored. And there's a hard left hook to the body by Baumgardner too. She's starting to settle into mid and close range now, and not just try to walk her in from long range with the feints, but she's settling in and throwing some mid and close range bombs a little bit here. Is the Baumgardner. I think Baumgardner's winning this round on clean punching. Baumgardner just missing with a right uppercut left hook. Mayer getting in a straight right, but she eats a left hook. Mayer swelling a little bit. She eats a jab from Baumgardner. Baumgardner knows how to keep her eyes up when they exchange. See the punches coming. Mayer sometimes puts her head down when she throws. Good straight right hand by Mikaela Mayer, but Baumgardner took it well. Mayer circling on the outside, but not effective at that range. And that's Baumgardner's 8th round. 5-3, Alicia Baumgardner on my card. 77-75. She could do no worse than a draw on my card. She raises her right hand up to the crowd, heading back to the corner. Mayer is going to need to pull something out, and she's going to need to win both of these 9th and 10th rounds. And that's a tall order right now because Baumgardner has her timing and has her rhythm down. She knows, and that's dangerous. When a fighter has their timing, distance, and rhythm down, when you throw, they have a good anticipation for you, and that's what Baumgardner has right now. It's been no smoke and mirrors. It's been a good competitive fight from 2 really, really good fighters, but Baumgardner's just been a little bit better tonight. We'll see if Mayer, with heart and with guts, can pull out these last 2, but her face is swelling up a little bit, and she's got that cut over her right eye, and Baumgardner, to me, looks fresh and confident heading into these last 2 rounds. We'll see here. Rounds 9 and 10, Coach Al Mitchell patting Mikaela on the head as she sends her back out. Mayer, hands up high. She's been countered a lot coming in. Baumgardner circling to her left in those first turns. Nice up jab from Baumgardner, landing it nice and relaxed and confident. Now she takes a nice little walk to the right, doesn't even circle out to her right, literally walks out to her right, up jabs, tries to hook from her hip. Michaela not getting anything in offensively. Baumgardner really locked in defensively right here. Oh, but nice double jab for Michaela. Doubles it up again. 1-2 lands for Michaela. She's going to need that. And Michaela now a left hook lands for Michaela. Michaela with a big rally just when she needs it. Little over a minute left in this ninth, and Michaela is ahead in this round, and she needs it badly. Double jab lands for Michaela. Baumgardner missing with a check left hook on the right hand. Now she lands a left hand with Michaela coming in, but a big right hand for Michaela lands over the top. Now another right hand for Michaela, and a left hook lands for Michaela. Baumgardner taking the shots well. Michaela with a nice up jab of her own, giving Baumgardner her own medicine with her own up jab there as she circled out. Michaela stepping out of range here for a second. Steps back in. Michaela kind of trying to use some of Baumgardner's trip. She dropped her lead hand to her hip for a minute. Now she gets it back up as Baumgardner hits her to the body. Baumgardner trying to land two hard check hooks, but Mayer keeping her hands up, and Mayer lands hard to the body as she keeps her hands up to block the counter shots up top. 20 seconds left. There will be drama this last round. We might have a draw. Good jab for Mayer. Mayer gutting out this ninth round when she absolutely needed it. And that's it for round 9. Good up jab again by Mayer. Mayer gave Baumgardner some of her own medicine finally in the ninth and actually lowered her hand, switched up some of her looks, was boxed in and out, and had a good ninth round when she really needed it, or else this fight was over for her on my card. It was going to be 6-3. It's 5-4, 86-85, Alicia Baumgardner. Michaela Mayer needs this 10th round to pull out a draw. Al Mitchell vehemently telling his fighter what she needs to do heading into this final round. Will Mayer pull this out in the 10th and give us a part 2, force a rematch and a draw? Or will Baumgardner, like she did in the 7th, stem the tide and put this one in the bag and become the new unified super featherweight champion from Detroit? Yeah, Richard and Supreme General, 5-4 Bum on my card. That's what I got it, 5-4 Bum. Mayer needs this round to get a draw to keep her belts. Let's see what we got here. This should be good. And they touch gloves. Not a lot of love, but they touch gloves. Round 10. Here we are. 10th and final round. Been a good fight that's absolutely lived up to the hype. 13-12 connect advantage for Mayer in the ninth. 97-92 connect advantage for Baumgardner overall in the fight. Mayer coming forward. Baumgardner measuring her, keeping that. Feinting a couple times. Left hand at the hip like it's been all night. Mayer, high guard. They trade jabs. It's been a beautiful exchange of jabs all night from these women. Jab to the body by Baumgardner. Mayer makes her fall short with the jab up top. Now Mayer, they trade jabs. Mayer gets her in. Now Baumgardner lands her up jab. Mayer tries to shoot a right hand. They trade jabs. Oh, Baumgardner just off with a right uppercut in a combination. Mayer made her miss short, but she's got to score, not just make her miss. She needs this round more than Baumgardner. Baumgardner almost catching Mayer coming in there as Mayer tried to dig with a right hand to the body. Oh, they both dig. Hard right hand up top lands for Baumgardner, but Mayer comes back with a straight right hand. Mayer actually got in a body shot when she ate that right hand. Oh, good two-piece to the body for Alicia Baumgardner as Mayer pulls her head down and backs out. 40 seconds left. Good up jab by Alicia Baumgardner and then a right hand to the body. Little over 30 seconds left. Baumgardner bobs up and down on her toes and lands an up jab. Mayer tries to dig hard to the body. Good left hook lands for Mayer in the exchange. High-level exchanges by both ladies, getting their heads off the line, throwing combinations to the body and to the head, showing a full arsenal. It's been a high-level fight. It's been a close fight. It's been a close 10th round. Baumgardner trying to dig to the body. She throws a little right hand up top. Now Mayer digs a two-piece to the body. Mayer lands a 1-2-3 to close. Baumgardner lands an overhand right. That was a really close 10th round. I might edge it to Baumgardner. I'll say this. Baumgardner did no worse than a draw tonight. She did no worse than a draw. That was a close 10th round. Mayer took it. Mayer got off some nice combinations in the last 20 seconds, but Baumgardner was a little bit more accurate throughout the first minute and a half of the round. Let's see. CompuBox had this one. Let's see here. Total thrown and landed. Let's see. 61-39. Man, this was close. I think they may have literally both ended up at 110 punches landed for the fight. Yeah. Or no, 100 landed for Michaela Mayer and 110 for Baumgardner. I think, guys, if anyone won this fight, it was Alicia Baumgardner, 96-94. She did no worse than a draw. Let's see what we get here in this final scorecard. Of course, a lot of bad blood. Turned out to be a technical chess match. Yeah, no doubt. But a good chess match. You know, this was legit high-speed chess and not the kind of chess that put you to sleep. This was good stuff, good high-level exchanges. They took chances. They both took their chances. They both ate shots, especially Michaela. So this was a good fight, not too technical for its own good. I feel this fight lived up to its hype in that both women showed they were really world-class fighters. I want to see it again. I think they should run this back in the States. And but if anyone won this fight, it was Baumgardner, 96-94. I could see a draw. Those are the two cards I see, either 95-95 or 96-94 Baumgardner, depending on how you score the 10th. So let's see here. Yeah, run it back. People are saying run it back. What'd you guys all have it? I'm seeing 5-5. OG Big Blunt says 6-4. Baumgardner. Yeah, I don't think anyone scored this for Michaela. I don't think anyone's gonna be mad. I don't think people will be too mad if she gets a draw, but she didn't win this fight. She may have gutted out a draw. Let's see. Very interested to see what we get here. Good fight. King Scott said Baumgardner slowed down after the second down. She was getting out jabbed and outworked. That was the case in some of the rounds, but not as early as round 2. She won the second round with an 11-1 connect advantage. She dominated the second round, and she won the third round. Then I gave Michaela 4, 5, and 6. I gave Baumgardner 7 and 8. I gave Mayer 9, and 10 was close. I may have edged it to Baumgardner a little more accurate, but I could see it to Mayer too. She closed strong in those last 30 seconds. Let's see what we get here in the verdict. Here we go, the scorecards. $97-93 Mayer, bad card, horrible. 96-95 Baumgardner. 96-95 to the winner by split decision. And the new unified super featherweight champion of the world is Alicia Baumgardner. They got this right. She won that fight. Yeah, I think they got this perfect. She literally won the fight by a point. And Baumgardner wins this fight. I hope they run it back. And I have zero complaints about her getting the decision. I think the judge, Michaela, is protesting and has both thumbs down and bad. Of course, anytime a fighter's in a close fight, they won. You know, anybody who's boxed before knows that. If it was a close fight, you won. But so, you know, let's not get crazy about, Michaela, protesting it. She's, of course, going to feel that way. But the judges got this right. Split decision. Mayer put on a good enough show that she gets a card, I guess, to not make it unanimous. And now Baumgardner comes over to hug Michaela Mayer, and I'm happy to see that. There's so much animosity before. Michaela severely disappointed. But if she's honest with herself, she'll know that Baumgardner was just a little bit smarter than her, a little more step ahead of the game in the pros. I know Mayer is the great amateur pedigree, but tonight Baumgardner took her to school a little bit on the professional game with her shoulder roll, with fighting with the up jab, with her timing, with not beating you with pace, but with placement. She deserved to win the fight tonight, did Alicia Baumgardner. Good fight. Very good fight. I hope they do it again. I hope it's respect until they sign the rematch, and then they can get back to disrespecting each other. But I hope they give each other their props. But Baumgardner talked a lot, and she backed it up. She won the fight. Mayer is very mad, very disappointed, heading back to her locker room. But again, if she's honest with herself when she watches the tape and doesn't just look for confirmation bias, doesn't just look to score herself the fight, she'll see why the judges gave it to Baumgardner on the split. So, yeah, good fight. Good judging. You don't always say that in boxing. Right. Jake Paul called it. Alicia by split decision. Motherfucking Jake Paul called it. Yeah. Will he be 2 for 2? Will Savannah Marshall? This would be the real upset. This to me really wasn't an upset. Baumgardner is a tremendous talent, physical talent. You could just I think Leonard Ellerby retweeted her today and said, wow, impressive genes. You could just tell she could have played basketball or soccer or being she probably was a gymnast. Gymnast. She's shredded, and yet maintains that slender kind of frame that lets you still be quick and athletic in boxing, but she's still, very muscular, fast hands, can punch hard, great coordination, and she showed that with her head movement tonight. Here are your flowers, Baumgardner. You are the best super featherweight in the game and one of the best pound for pound. Her and Katie Taylor would be a tremendous fight. I favor Taylor because she brings a dimension of hand speed and foot speed that Mayer doesn't quite bring. So I think Taylor, being the natural lightweight, could win that fight. I think, actually Michaela won the fight because she was an American Olympian and all that stuff, that would have been a bigger commercial fight. But I really hope Baumgardner gets a chance to make a huge fight with Katie Taylor. But first things first, I want to see them fight each other in a rematch. But yeah, just congrats to Alicia Baumgardner. She showed what Michigan was all about again tonight. She really did. She had that Michigan style, brought the shoulder roll. Didn't really shoulder roll a lot, just more so she made her hit her shoulder a lot, kept getting her head off the line. Beautiful timing on her up jab. She didn't have to jab with Michaela every single time. She just had to have better timing. And she did that throughout. But Michaela's jab was on point throughout too. It really was one of the better fights when it comes to the jab, you'll see. So and then down the stretch, they took chances, man. They stood in there and they exchanged. Baumgardner was just better at Mayer in the exchanges at getting that head off the line consistently. And Mayer would kind of just put that head down and launch a number of times. Let's see. Yeah, 97, 93 card, Johnny Black. I agree. That was crazy. Right, Jake Paul's picks tonight from the official Fight Hype editor up top. Deontay Wilder, KO2. Devin Haney, unanimous decision. Baumgardner, split decision. Marshall, split decision. Caleb Plant, unanimous decision. So far, he's 1 for 1 with the upset. But that one to me wasn't the upset. The main event, if Marshall beats Shields, then I'll really give Jake some props. That's an upset. I'd be now. Marshall is the most dangerous fighter Shields has ever faced. She's country strong. She's taller than her. She punches hard. She has that loose Tyson Fury-esque style she's been learning under Peter Fury. But Claressa Shields is Claressa Shields. This is like the Serena Williams of boxing. She's dominant. She's as dominant an athlete in boxing in her sport as there is in sports, period, So to beat her is a tremendous upset for any fighter in boxing. So the Marshall one, I'll really give Jake Paul some props if he gets that pick right. Because I got Shields. So let's see here. Who won? Cardell Hobbs, who won? Yeah, Alicia Baumgardner won. Really good fight, really good chest smash. Well-earned split decision for Alicia Baumgardner. Yeah, that's a girl that's been boxing since she was a little girl. at 8 years old, you know, was born with a great amount of talent, and she's made good on all of it. In the pro game, a late bloomer, didn't make the Olympic team for USA Boxing. Lost the fight early in her career, so she got that blemish on her record early on. But she is definitely one of the best top 10 or 5 pound for pound fighters in women's boxing now. She said, "I did that, and I told y'all this," and she's snapping right now. But she's earned the right to do that. She knew she'd back it up tonight. She knows the kind of fighter she is, and she backed it up tonight. So now I'm just looking for this main event time. Let's see. I see King Sco 415 said, "How you give Baumgardner the third round when that was the round Michaela established her jab?" Well, just because it's the round she established her jab doesn't mean it's the round. Doesn't mean it's a round she won. That was the round where she really got into the fight, and then she won the fourth round. She took some of the positive things she did in the third and actually got the job done in the fourth and fifth and sixth. But in the third round, yeah, she was able to establish her jab against a fighter who had already established hers from the opening bell and was still matching her jab with her up jab. And she still walked Michaela into some right hands and some check left hooks in that third round. CompuBox had her outlanding Michaela 13-10. So yeah, I think that was still Baumgardner's round. It's just you know, it was just a more competitive round, but it doesn't mean it was a round that Michaela won. She won the rounds after that, 4, 5, and 6. Damn, Bum says no rematch. She is going for undisputed. That sucks. That sucks. They got, I mean, okay, from her perspective, I understand not an immediate rematch if you want to go ahead and be undisputed or get the bag against Katie Taylor at lightweight, but at some point you should make this fight. You should do a rematch with Michaela Mayer. And you know, money brings things together. So I'm sure as long as Michaela can win fights, if she doesn't get the immediate rematch, if she can keep winning fights and keep her name hot, she will get a rematch at some point with Baumgardner. Maybe not immediately if Baumgardner has other plans, but like Senicia Estrada said, she would never fight Marlon Esparza ever again. But time goes by, 3 years go by. Marlon does her part. She keeps winning fights. She wins the WBC title. And now if you ask Senicia, she's open to fighting her again. So where she said she would never do it before. So, you know, you keep winning fights and you keep your name relevant, then at some point you'll probably get that rematch again. But we'll see. We'll see. You know, Baumgardner is going to, in all likelihood, like most fighters do, take the best offer that comes across the table. Let's see. Otomoso Tematope said, though, they let women's boxing down. No, they didn't. That fight was good. That was a good fight. It wasn't I guess it wasn't as action packed as Taylor and Serrano, but it's pretty good. I enjoyed it a lot. Really good chess match. Not a boring chess match. Joker Boom says, I think Tyson Fury's style is much better than Mayweather's style. I wouldn't go that far. Tyson's style is one. I don't know. No, it's not. You know, it's not as it's not as fundamentally sound as Floyd's style. Floyd definitely goes way beyond the fundamentals. I mean, his style isn't keep your hands up and shoot the 1, 2, 3 and, you know, parry, you know, and then drop the elbows to block the bot. Like, he does very sophisticated stuff well beyond the fundamentals. But I still think it's rooted in the fundamentals of the USA boxing and all that more than what Fury does. Fury's is hard to replicate. You see Savannah Marshall replicating it, and she brings to the ring some of the stuff Fury does. She's bigger than everybody that she fights. She's very tall, and even though she's not muscle bound, like Tyson Fury, she has a natural physical strength and size over her opponents. And she's able to employ those feints and loosey-goose arms at the side, like Tyson gets away with at times. But I guess, you know, I would say, you know, it always depends on who's the fighter implementing the style. But I think the Mayweather style is superior to Fury. It's been proven over 2 or 3 generations. Let's see if there's a second or third generation Fury champion. You know, Mayweather had his father and Roger becoming a champ, and then Floyd did his thing, and then fighters in America, Gervonta and Devin included, have taken wrinkles from Floyd and had big success with it. Savannah is really the first big fighter I could think of that's using this Fury style on the biggest stage. So. Dead Pooh said Tyson is just huge. If Fury wasn't so big, he would get his ass kicked. I wouldn't go that far either. Fury, to me, has the best feints, at least in the heavyweight division, maybe boxing. His double feint is with that, you know, when he double feints with the jab is a thing of beauty. It's my favorite feint in the sport. So Fury's head movement, his upper body movement, he has great feet and heart. And you know, and has some of the best feints in the game. So there's a lot more. There's a lot of guys. Nikolai Valuev was like 7 feet. If it was just about being big, a lot of other guys not named Tyson Fury would have got the job done in boxing. But his size, in addition to his skill and his unorthodox gifts and athleticism, you know, those amazing feints and the way his head is constantly in motion, you know, is part of what makes him so good. Joseph, right. Nikolai Valuev. I was just saying the same thing. Plus 220. Thanks, Baumgardner. Ben got some money. Good for you, my man. How long until Shields and Marshall fight? Shouldn't be too far. Let's see. Wilder Ruiz, break it down. I'll have the exact answer for you, Jalon Reed, after we see Deontay tonight. And I'll definitely be doing Deontay's fight tonight, live round by round. For those of you watching the pay-per-view, if you prefer me to the great Lennox Lewis and Joe Goosen, please join me. And for those of you who aren't watching the pay-per-view but still want to hear the action, join me. But I think I'll be able to answer that question perfectly after Deontay fights Robert Helenius tonight and shows us what he's still got left. You know, this fight wouldn't have that much intrigue if it wasn't Deontay coming off the wars with Tyson Fury. Because the big question is, like, what happens to Deontay when he gets hit? You know, what's happened to his punch resistance, to his body after I think the most grueling heavyweight championship fight of the 2000, you know, post 2000. I think that fight with Tyson Fury was the most brutal heavyweight championship fight we've had, up there with, you know, Lennox and Vitali. So we'll see what Wilder has left. If Wilder is still Wilder, I think there's a strong chance he could knock out Andy Ruiz. He could knock out Alexander Usyk, 2 shorter guys that will always be in range. And if they can't stop Deontay and they give him 12 rounds to play with, and Deontay still has good conditioning and he's the same guy he was before the 3 fights with Fury, which is a huge if, then he just needs to line them up for 1 or 2 right hands to get them out of there. And like the Luis Ortiz rematch, you know, Usyk or Ruiz could be stepping around, tagging him, and then just get caught with 1 shot and the fight's over. So if Deontay's still Deontay, I would favor him to beat Ruiz, and I'd give him a hell of a shot even against Usyk. But we got to see what he's got later tonight when he fights in Brooklyn. How can Usyk beat Fury? By being the sharper guy, the sharper puncher on mid to close range, where, you know, his smaller frame will benefit him. Fury would probably think he can just pound and lean on Usyk if Usyk tries to constantly stay up close and in mid range. But But he'll find it's not as easy to land those kind of clubbing hooks and shots he landed in those wars with Wilder against Usyk, who will duck his head underneath those and use his feet to go left, right, and duck underneath. And Usyk can be the more sharp, compact, better, straighter throw shots, a little bit quicker hands on the inside. He could do it by that and by, by being really sharp defensively on his P's and Q's, hands up and then ducking down, doing all the little things he does in mid to close range and just being the sharper puncher than Fury, not the bigger puncher, not out muscling the guy and banging away with him, but by, blocking and slipping underneath those kind of clubbing shots Fury throws up close and, getting off 2-3 to 1 when he needs to, short, quick combinations, not fully committing to everything so that he's always in position to catch back what's going on defensively. That's the kind of way I see Usyk wins the fight, but I got Fury beating him if they ever fight. Let's see. Richard, bro, Hellenius got some power too. He can win against Wilder. Yeah, he can win against Wilder. We don't even know if Wilder's Wilder anymore. He could go out there and try a whole bunch of new things him and Malik Scott have been working on, and none of it works. And he gets tagged early, and his his chin is just nowhere near the same because you guys have been watching boxing for years. Even guys with a great chin, they take a certain amount of punches and punishment, that chin gets cracked and their punch resistance goes down. Eric Morales, you couldn't drop him with a baseball bat, and then after once he went down, it was much easier to get him down the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh time. So that was Deontay. He was able to stay upright whenever Ortiz cracked him and hurt him. Fury couldn't hurt him in the first fight. Well, in the 12th round a little bit, but again, stayed upright. But then he finally hit the canvas, and it became easier to hit the canvas the second, third, and fourth, and fifth time after that. So we'll see what we get from Deontay tonight. Main event time now in England. Savannah Marshall, the hometown girl, the big underdog tonight. Alicia Baumgardner already scored what was a mild upset, but that was, again, a mild upset. Savannah Marshall, this would be a big upset. I think some sports books actually, factoring in Marshall's size, the amateur victory, the fact that she's fighting at home and Shields is not, have this fight kind of close to even, which I am surprised by. I think Shields has earned the right to be pretty much a big favorite against anybody you match her with. But Marshall is the most dangerous pro she's been in with in terms of her physical size, her unorthodox, and her punching power. So here she comes, nearly 6 feet tall, Savannah Marshall, just barely an underdog at Caesars Sportsbook, basically a 50-50 fight, just plus 110. So a lot of really savvy boxing people tonight giving Marshall a great chance to beat the greatest female boxer of all time. Her accomplishments say that. Never mind what Claressa says. 2-time undisputed, 3-time unified, 2-time gold medalist, dominant undefeated fighter. But at Caesars Sportsbook, damn near a 50-50 fight with Savannah Marshall, the only girl to ever beat her as a professional or an amateur. But if you go back and watch that amateur fight, you could easily see that Shields might have deserved to win that fight as well. Marshall was not the aggressor in that fight, like some have been led to believe with her punching reputation. It was Marshall actually on her bike for much of that fight, and Shields taking the fight to her. Marshall had a good first round in that amateur bout, but it looked like Shields actually got the better of it after that first round in the second and third. But Marshall got the decision that night, and she has held on to it. And Claressa Shields has not appreciated her holding on to fame and glory from 10 years past over an amateur victory, and she wants to put an end to all of that tonight. Here comes the quote. She has the USA trunks on, Apollo Creed style, and with USA Everlast gloves on. Very cool fit for Claressa Shields as she comes to the ring. Proud American, representing the United States, won 2 gold medals for this country in the 2012 and 2016 Olympics. and definitely has her fair share of haters and critics, but that always adds good to the promotion of a fight. James Sutton, Baumgardner didn't win the fight. Another robbery. I totally disagree. I think the judges actually got it spot on. I think the worst card was 97-93 Mayer. I think that fight had two cards, in my opinion. 95-95 if you gave the benefit of the doubt to Mayer in the 10th, or 96-94 Baumgardner if you gave Baumgardner the 10th, and I did. I think she edged it out. She was a little more accurate than Mayer. So I think the judges got it perfect, a split decision for Baumgardner. Here comes both fighters in the ring, and Marshall is circling around just like Tyson Fury with the up jab from her hip, loosey-goose, throwing her punches in a very loose and relaxed way. Shields, like taught in the United States, sharp, fast, compact, trying to be sharp, fast, and compact on every shot and straight and down the pipe. Marshall, more unorthodox, will throw punches from her hips and from different angles. Will sweep some of those right hands over the top and do some different unorthodox things. So Marshall could get tired from trying to KO Shields. Well, one thing Claressa told me heading into this fight is that she guarantees me that Marshall will pick her hands up, that Marshall will not be comfortable, that with the punches she eats early on, she will not be comfortable fighting throughout the night with her hands down at her waist and relaxed. And Shields vowed to me a couple weeks ago that I guarantee you make her pick her hands up in this fight. So something to look out for early on in this fight. Does Marshall get away with keeping her hands low, or does that great hand speed of Claressa Shields force her to pick them up a little bit and put the earmuffs on? Dirty Bugger said Marshall is not a hometown girl. She is from Northeast. Forgive me. I've never been outside of the country. And by hometown, I mean she is from the country of England. It is her home country. So not hometown. And Claressa Shields kind of having two cheerleaders behind her doing a dance routine up on the stage before she walks to the ring. Big smile and dancing. Star-Spangled Stripes behind her. And, I got the fight muted, so I couldn't hear what it was, but it looked fun. But Claressa Shields, 5'9", 2 inches shorter than Savannah Marshall, 3.5-inch reach advantage for Savannah Marshall. Marshall, the bigger woman tonight. But Michaela Mayer was bigger than Alicia Baumgardner, and that wasn't enough to get the job done. So we'll see tonight what we get. Very anticipated fight. First fight lived up to the hype, in my opinion. Let's see if the second one can, too. Shields now in the ring. If it's a close fight, will the Yankee, adorned in the stars and stripes, get a close decision? When it was Baumgardner and Mayer, there was neither fighter was a Brit. It was there no room for bias to come in here. But tonight, if it's close, and Jake Paul maybe with the savvy to see a controversial split decision, he picks Savannah Marshall to win by split. If it's close, can Shields really win a really close decision, or is she going to have to be dominant tonight to get out of here as the undisputed middleweight champion? All right. Dev, Ananth, Sean, can you relate this Baumgardner win to Mayer or to Spence Crawford? Because many of them favoring Crawford for his move. Good point, Dev. Dev Anathan, and because I think Spence is a better fighter than Mayer, and I think Crawford's better than Baumgardner. But I think the styles aren't that far off now that you mention it. Mayer, like Spence, the better USA boxing amateur, made the Olympic team. Crawford and Baumgardner didn't. But in the pro game, they have a little bit more savvy to them, a little bit more counter punching, a little bit more lateral movement, stepping off to the side. And I think I think you definitely bring up a fair comparison with Crawford being Baumgardner and Mayer being Spence. I think Spence, though, no, I think I really see what you're saying. I really do. There's so many similarities there, actually. Again, Mayer and Spence are both of the Olympians. They both have that hands up. And their most natural tendency is to fight with that hands up. Spence, he can drop that lead hand too and step off to his left a little bit, you know, and do some different looks like he did against Mikey and in other fights. He has some looks, but his real bread and butter is great fundamentals and, you know, keeping the hand up, busy jab, get into your body. And that's Michaela's bread and butter. And Baumgardner, like Crawford, is a nice, savvy counterpuncher with great lateral movement. And yeah, so very, very good by bringing that up. Yeah, I'm watching this on ESPN Plus, and Star Spangled Banner is finishing up getting sang right now. John David Jackson, the former middleweight and super welterweight champion, in Claressa Shields' corner. One of the most underrated trainers in boxing, John David Jackson, fought Bernard Hopkins, fought a number of Jorge Castro in what was, I think, the fight of the year of 1995 or 1993 when he fought Jorge Castro. So Savannah Marshall with Peter Fury in her corner, the uncle of the heavyweight champ Tyson Fury. A more professional, literally, you know, professional, because this rivalry in this main event is about the sport. It dates back to an amateur rivalry, an amateur loss on Shields' part to Marshall, whereas that co-main event, it was personal. They didn't have any history in terms of fighting each other in the amateurs. It was animosity from a distance until they met in the ring tonight and delivered in a very good high-speed chess match that Baumgardner deservedly won. But this main event, there's been plenty of animosity in it, but this is a more professional animosity that goes back to a loss in the sport. Shields, a lot of people agree with her after Sky Sports posted it. You know, feels she won that fight when they fought in the amateurs, and that she's done all this work in her life and in her career, been in movies, accepted awards on Nickelodeon, won gold medals, won undisputed titles, and meanwhile you're still here trying to parade around as my equal from winning a 3-round amateur fight that you didn't really win 10 years ago. So, yeah, that's the animosity at play here. Marshall has long just held this grin, this smirk that she knows gets the Shields under Shields' skin. She's held on to that win, and she's used it very well in the art of war. In the mental warfare, her best bet is to get Claressa rattled and aggressive. But Claressa is, even though, you know, the 2 knockouts and 12 wins, people talk about the power, but she is a naturally pretty aggressive fighter. But she has very good defense too. She can move, but she likes to stand and let her hands go. She is great, some of the best hand speed, man or woman in boxing. Great combination puncher. She likes to put them together. Marshall also with Huey Fury behind her. I believe that's her boyfriend. The WBO middleweight champ. Shields has held that title before, but gave it up in pursuit of the 154-pound belt. So she would just be winning a title that she's had previously back again. Let me get some last-minute picks here. Jalon Reed, worry in Claressa's eyes? No, I don't believe so. If anything, some tense, some nerves in Marshall's eyes. No fear in either fighter's eyes, but watching them in the dressing room and whatnot, if anyone's a little tighter, it's Marshall. Shields, I think, with the gold medal matches and some big fights, is a little bit more used to this atmosphere than Marshall is, but Marshall looks mean and ready to go. Bangs her gloves together. The silent assassin getting introduced in the corner. Again, nearly 6 feet tall at 5'11". Shields is 5'9", and she has a 3.5-inch reach advantage over Claressa Shields. But she is the older woman, I believe, at 31 years old. Shields still in her 20s. Marshall, not kind of country strong, not that traditional bodybuilding, you know, great definition and cut, but just kind of seems like she has a natural physical strength to her. Doesn't have to load up on her punches to produce the power. maybe someone blessed with heavy hands or something like that. But Claressa, unanimous decision. Richard says Marshall by KO. Jalon Reed, Marshall, hometown advantage. Shields is going to flurry Marshall the whole fight, says Dead Pooh. Dave Herbert, appreciate you, brother. All right. Shields, confident, taunting in the corners. And I find her kind of funny. She, I think that swag is funny. She's serious. She definitely doesn't mean any games. I don't mean funny like a clown, like she's here to amuse me, but funny like Ali, funny like Floyd. Like they talk that shit and they got that walk and it makes you smile and they're about that business and they're really gonna do what they say. Shields with the bravado in the corner, animated. Marshall, like I said, more tight, more serious, stone-faced. Shields not making eye contact in the stare down. Fighters like Oscar De La Hoya, several fighters do the same thing, kind of look to the ground and just hear instructions and nod, and they touch gloves, and here we go. Main event time, baby. All right. Let's get this thing going. Gotta love the USA trunks and gloves by Claressa Shields. But here we go, round one, and Marshall races out to Shields. Starts on that front foot. Marshall in that left hand low, shoots a little double jab off twice, not really to land, just the range fine. Marshall really with that left hand at her side and her shoulder way up, trying to fight behind her left shoulder with that left hand down. Shields with a good left hook to the body with a quick snap, dip to the left, and she shot a left hook off that dip. Shields with a sharp jab, but Marshall making her fall short. Marshall trying to range find with her left hand, probing with it. Shields moves out to her left off the ropes. Marshall trying to stay on top of her, just throwing out a lead hand. Now she throws out a loosey-goose straight right to the body, but Shields makes her miss it. Now Shields pops her double jab, but Marshall keeping her chin behind her shoulder well, but now Shields lands a right hand over the top and then a left hook and a right hand, a left hook, and Shields has Marshall hurt in the first round and is teeing off angrily with combinations as T-Rex Shields. Claressa Shields, it all started with an overhand right, and she came in hard with a left hook. Now 2 body shots for Claressa Shields lands hard, and she wanted to make a statement to Savannah Marshall there. You are no bully. I'm the boss in here. And Marshall already reddening around her shoulders and reddening around her chest as Shields just teed off on whatever was there as Marshall just covered up. Great explosive combination by Shields. Shields digging to the body, jab to the body, and a sweeping right hand to the body and a left hook to the body. Good 3 punches for Shields. Marshall sweeping a right hand to the body. Marshall trying to back Shields up on the ropes. Shields misses a right hand, and now Marshall tees off with a combination, but Shields with her hands up well, blocking those punches. Marshall trying to get some get back with Shields on the ropes. Shields misses a left hook, and Marshall dips underneath the right hand after missing the left hook. Marshall lands a nice 1-2, but Shields comes back with a double jab right hand, and that was a great first round of action. Claressa Shields made a statement, and she makes a face going back to her corner and nods at the camera. 10-9 Claressa Shields. What an explosive combination in the first minute by Shields. It was all started by a right hand over the top, and once she saw just a little bit of give from Marshall in reaction, she teed off with about a 20-punch combination. Like I said before the fight, her hand speed, her combinations, some of the best in boxing, and she showed it there. 10-9 Claressa Shields. Marshall would try to come back, try to get some get back in the last 30 seconds there, repeatedly getting Shields to the ropes, but Shields with good defense, not really eating anything. All right. I do think Marshall was a little bit rocked there. Was just forced to cover up. Big advantage for Shields in hand speed and in terms of, the compact and the precision on her punches. Marshall very loose with her punch output. Shields starting off with the jab. Both fighters jab. Good 2 body shots by Claressa Shields. Beautiful right hand, left hook underneath to the taller, slender body of Savannah Marshall. Now Shields eats a jab, but lands her jab in a right hand. Marshall trying to push the pace, but Shields keeping it tight. shorter, more compact punches. And close right hand lands for Savannah Marshall, though. First good shot landed. That straight right hand did knock Claressa Shields back into the ropes. You can see that Clarissa's head got lifted from that right hand. Now Marshall gets her to the ropes and tees off. Shields using the shoulder roll, blocks the body shots, but Marshall not putting everything on these 1-2s, but letting her hands go, and Shields forced to cover up and eats a jab. Now Shields winging to the body and gets into the clinch. Marshall having a good second round now after landing her straight right hand. Shields digs a right hand to the body and tries to come up top after that. But Marshall, a little bit savvy, keeping her chin behind that long, lanky left shoulder. But Shields catching her a little bit coming in, but Marshall pushing the pace as well. Now they fall into the clinch, about 45 seconds left. Shields getting the better of those last exchange, but Marshall a little ahead in the round. Shields with a straight right and a left hook. Marshall ate it well. Oh, good left hook to the body inside for Shields, and then a right hand up top, and then a right uppercut lands for Claressa, but Marshall comes back with a 1-2, but Shields with a straight right and a left hook and a right hand for Shields, out punching Marshall in close. Oh, another right hand for Claressa Shields. Marshall awkward and unorthodox on the inside and letting her hands go, but Shields more accurate, more compact. Oh, hard left hook for Claressa Shields. Whacked Marshall's head around, and then a straight right hand up close for Claressa Shields. 5 seconds left. Marshall moving her head side off to the side, left and right, but Shields landing to the body and coming, working her levels with her combinations. Those combination punching and hand speed from Shields. 20-18, Claressa Shields. Marshall was ahead after a minute, landed her best shot of the fight so far, landed a straight right that knocked Shields' head up and went into the ropes, but Shields responded well with combinations. And Marshall is trying to walk her down, so she's walking her down, and then when she gets in mid to close range, though, Shields can shoot off 2 to 3 to 1 because of the hand speed, lets her get off more punches, and then she's the shorter, more compact puncher in mid to close range. So she's just getting the better of these exchanges. But Marshall was consistent in the second round with her output and did land a good straight right hand in the first minute. But I got a 20-18 Shields. Shields really, really being a body snatcher. And she landed a great right uppercut that round up top too. All right, round 3. Been a good fight to start. Marshall coming forward with that left hand low, constantly bobbing her hands around, trying to feint. Double jab, triple jab from Marshall, but Shields making her miss everything and smile at her. Shields catching the jab with her right hand and tries to shoot a 1-2 back, but Marshall makes her fall short. Shields shoots another double jab, and Marshall falls into the clinch with her. Shields near the ropes. Marshall probing with her lead hand, shoots a right to the body, but Shields blocks it and then blocks the left hook up top. Shields in the corner, lands a nice short left hook and then a right hand as she used the shoulder roll defense very well, catching the body shots and catching the head shots. Explosive combinations from Claressa Shields. She didn't really land this last explosive combination, just flailing short to the body, but now she lands a left hook up top. She is hitting Marshall with some of the hardest shots she's ever hit anyone with as a pro. That left hook to the body is killer on the inside of Shields, and she's throwing so many combinations, it's hard to call it at times. But know that she is scoring with it. Now a jab lands for Marshall, but Shields comes back with 4 or 5 punches right away. What a sharp piston jab from Claressa Shields, and then a straight right behind it, and then another 1-2. Just incredible hand speed and combinations from Shields right now. Shields on the ropes. Marshall bangs with 2 hard body shots. Marshall tries to club her with a short left hook. Now Shields tees off with 2 body shots. Misses the left hook, but landed the right to the body. Shields missing a right, a 1-2, and she eats a left hand. Shields hard right hand to the body and then brings the right hand up top, and Marshall forced the clinch. 10 seconds left in the third. It looks like it's going to be 3-0 Claressa Shields. Another left hook to the body by Claressa, and a right hand to the body, and then a hard left hook after that right hand to the body. The hand speed is just crazy. She can get off 2 or 3 or 4 punches in an instant to Marshall just getting off 1 or 2, and she is fully committing and throwing explosive shots. No range finding for Claressa. Every shot is explosive for her tonight. 30-27, Claressa is showing out. Man. Your says Shields going crazy. She is. She is, man. Showing why she's the GOAT. At times for Marshall, it's that Pacquiao effect, where once the combinations start rolling, it's like, fuck, all you do is just cover up. You can't answer, return fire when a fighter starts has that ability to let go with that kind of combination punching. It overwhelms you, and that's what she's doing with her hand speed and combinations at times, is overwhelming a very game and tough Savannah Marshall. Oh, 1-2, 1-2 lands for Shields to start the round. Marshall almost looks a little buzzed from these combinations to start by Claressa Shields in the fourth. Shields teeing off a combination, not landing everything, but some of it is getting through for sure and reddening the face of Savannah Marshall. Marshall can't find the range with her offense. Shields, good head movement, good glove placement. When she wants to block, she can block. When she wants to get her head out of the way, she gets her head out of the way. And the elbows stay in position to block whatever's coming to the body. Marshall trying to rough her up, gets Shields on the ropes, throws 3 or 4 uppercuts in a row. Now she bangs 2 body shots, but Shields times her and comes back with a left hook, right hand back. Short left hook for Shields lands. Marshall just trying to get rough and tough on the inside, but even that isn't quite working. Overhand right for Claressa, and then a straight right on the clinch lands. Marshall backs her into the ropes. Marshall red all over. The girl is getting red on her shoulders, red in her abdomen, red in her face. She's taking punches everywhere. Straight right lands for Claressa. Marshall coming back with some shots, but it's as simple as, even when Marshall lands, it doesn't matter, because Claressa is just determined to make her to fire back with 2 or 3 or 4 accurate pinpoint combinations. Not always pinpoint. Sometimes she's just throwing the De La Hoya effect, where it's 4 or 5 or 6 fast shots that look so good. Even when they're not all landing, it leaves such an impression. Now Marshall with a combination with Shields along the ropes. Shields fires off the ropes. Marshall not accurate. That short left hook lands for Claressa. Hard left hook to the body inside for Claressa. She wants a stoppage. Claressa keeping it in close. Hard right hand to the body for Claressa. Another right hand to the body. Marshall blocking the left hook up top. Shields overwhelming her with combinate. Hard left hook lands for Shields. Marshall getting that glove up to block it, but some of it got through anyways. And Marshall, oof. I mean, she's staying in there, and she's being active and letting her hands go, but she's taking an ass whooping. Like, that combination punching is overwhelming. Marshall tough, no bleeding, tough skin, just a lot of reddening around her facial tissue. And reddening on her shoulders, even taking those punches to the shoulders and reddening around her abdomen. She's getting hit everywhere. Very game. And because she has that kind of awkward style, long and tall, and fights with that chin behind that left shoulder, and she's not taking a lot of them 100% clean, but man, some of them are definitely landing clean, and a lot of them are landing on the top of the head, on the side of the head, and on the replays, it's all Claressa Shields. Jorge1, thank you so much for the 5. Appreciate you tuning in with us, man. And like you said, boxing lesson. Yeah, but an angry boxing lesson. This ain't no, I'm just going to make you miss and make you pay. Count. She's beaten. She wants to put this girl through a meat grinder. 24 punches land. Shields has not landed less than 17 punches in a round. That's been her low. She's landed 24 punches in a round twice. In just 2-minute rounds, that's absurd. You're getting hit 12, and she's punching this girl in the face every 5 seconds. Marshall has Shields on the ropes. Shields looks comfortable on the ropes, though. Marshall getting some activity and is ahead in this 5th round. Marshall is ahead after 30 seconds in this 5th. Shields content to lay on the ropes and let Marshall fire off, but good defense by Shields on the ropes. Nothing clean or devastating getting in. And hard body shots by Shields. Now a hard left hook in close. Beautiful left hook in close by Claressa Shields. Straight right hand, then dips her head down. Fires back a left hook. 2 hard body shots for Claressa Shields. She backs Marshall up, but Marshall is game and keeps firing. But those long, Gumby arms are getting blocked on the inside, and the shorter, more explosive, compact arms and punches of Shields is dominating at this range. Good jab for Shields. Marshall, hard left hook to the body for Marshall, but then a hard left hook up top for Shields. Marshall landed left hook to the body, but then she ate a left hook up top a second later. Marshall letting her hands go up top with Shields along the road, but Shields slipping and sliding, blocking those shots. And then Marshall lands a left hook to the body, but Shields making her pay with 3 or 4 punches for landing that body shot. Hard left hook to the body in close for Shields. A nice right hand in close for Marshall. Now Claressa is exchanging with her, has no fear for the punching power of Marshall in close. She continues to exchange in close and win every exchange. Her left hook in close has been so beautiful and so compact and explosive. And the straight right has landed plenty of times, and the body work has been tremendous for Claressa Shields. 50-45. Marshall was relentless in that 5th round, stayed on top of Shields and threw, but Shields with such a better defense and just so much more explosive and compact punches in mid and close range. 5-0 Shields. Man. Here on the replay, you see the body snatching from Shields. She lands a hard whipping right hand to the body and then a right hand up top. Doing a beautiful job of starting low and finishing up top is Claressa Shields. But this right hook, and I know we like to call it a sweeping right hand when they kind of throw a right hook out of the orthodox stance, but let's just call it a right hook. Her right hook and her left hook have been a thing of beauty, absolutely explosive. And she's had the straight right hand, but it's not really a straight right hand at distance. She ain't concerned on fighting on the distance. She has been in punching range, in the wheelhouse all night. 24 punches landed in the 5th for Shields. That's 3 different rounds she has landed 20. She threw 102 punches in the 5th round with only 2-minute rounds. That's absurd. She was on pace to throw 150 punches if it was a male 3-minute round in that 5th round. Man, Shields letting it all hang out tonight and not even taking punishment. She's swimming without getting wet. Shields is throwing with such anger tonight, but not letting it get her away and off of her form. Before, when she's loaded up on punches, she's gotten sloppy with her right hands. Tonight, she's loading up and throwing everything with intense ferocity, but with great form, with great technique. She hasn't lost it through her anger tonight. They talk about Kobe Bryant sometimes, Michael Jordan, you piss him off, it gets even worse for you. That's what's happened for Marshall. But Marshall just landed a nice short right hook on the inside that got Shields' attention. Shields hasn't thrown a punch since. She's just clinching in the 6th. That was a clubbing right hand that landed on the chin of Shields. Now Marshall ducks underneath the 1-2 and she fires 2 right hands to the body in the clinch. Shields getting a little sloppy in the clinch, pushing Marshall back. Marshall has taken a lot of punishment, but she's still game. Marshall making Claressa miss her combination, and now she's talking to her. Marshall with short clubbing shots on the inside. Shields getting her hands up on the inside, but Marshall finding more success here. Marshall lands a left hook, but eats a left hook. Marshall clubbing away on the inside, banging away on Claressa's gloves. Claressa takes a deep breath. For the first time, she's meeting some good resistance here now. 2 body shots land for Marshall, and Shields does the ole and makes her miss up top, but the body shots got in. Now a right hand lands for Shields and a left hook, but Marshall is firing back as well. Not big right hand for Shields, though, and with 5 seconds left. Ooh, and then she wings a left hook and a right hand with everything she has on it. But for a minute there, for about 60 seconds, Marshall sustained some good success. And I think buzzed Claressa just a little bit. Claressa knows how to keep a good poker face, but a short little clubbing right hand got her attention a little bit. But Shields finished strong. If you're looking for a round to give Marshall, that was it. That was the 6th. Totally could see you giving it to Shields too, though. But sometimes judges they tended to look for a round when it's getting lopsided. And if you were looking for a round, definitely give it to Marshall. But that was by far the closest round of the fight in the 6th. Yeah, I see some of you in the chat gave that round now to Marshall. All right, here we go, heading into the 7th now. Or excuse me, yeah, the 7th. Shields got a little bit of swelling there I might be seeing over her right eye. For the first time, looked like she was really in a fight in that 6th round. Here we go. Double jab for Shields and a straight right hand, but Marshall making the right hand touch her shoulder. That probably was a Marshall round in the 6th. CompuBox had a 19-10 connect advantage for Savannah Marshall. So go ahead and pencil it in for her. 5-1 Shields. Shields punching off the ropes. Marshall being relentless. Lands a good left hook up top after she set it up with a right to the body. Marshall showing a lot of heart here. She's walked through a lot of punches tonight and kept letting her hands go. She's letting her hands go here in the 7th. Shields checking her with a left hook and now a right hand to the body for Shields. Marshall trying to use that shoulder in different angles, and now she misses a straight right and a left hook, but goes to the body. Shields covering up. Marshall teeing off with 7 or 8 shots there. Shields with good defense, but Marshall maybe outworking her now again in the 7th like she did in the 6th. Oh, 1-2 lands for Savannah Marshall. Good right hand land, and there is some swelling around the right eye of Claressa Shields. Claressa Shields returning fire, but not as accurate as in rounds past. Marshall with a deep breath. It looks a little tired, but she bangs away with a double left hook, and now a right uppercut lands for Savannah Marshall. Short left hook for Shields, but Marshall with the heavier hands. Marshall making Shields miss 2 left hooks. Stays on top of her. Shields on the ropes, losing the 7th round. Marshall bangs away with 2 right hands to the body after she just touches up top to set it up. Shields letting her hands go on the ropes, but not as accurate, losing the 7th round. If Marshall cannot get hit with anything too big, she'll have won 2 rounds in a row. Shields letting her hands go in combination. 1-2 lands for Shields, letting her hands go in combination, trying to steal this round. Marshall unwisely letting Shields tee off in that last 10 seconds, but I don't think it was enough on my card. 5-2 Claressa, 68-65 Shields. I'll give that to Marshall. Yep, gave Marshall 6 and 7. Not like she started to break through with a whole lot of clean punching up top, but her body work was good in round 7. And just consistent in game, busy. Outworked Claressa in round 6 and 7. Got her to the ropes a lot too. So let's see here. 68-65 Shields. Championship rounds coming up 8, 9, and 10. Maybe Shields, well, what'd she throw? 102 punches in the 5th? She might have taken a little something out of her for 6 and 7 to let Marshall, kind of work her way into this fight. Shields takes a nice deep breath. That swelling is it's got a nice little mouse under her right eye. Nice 1-2 for Shields to start the 8th. Shoots a 1-2 again, but Marshall getting her chin behind her shoulder and head off to the right. Marshall with a nice left hook to the body inside. Punches. It was a 19-15 advantage for Shields in the 7th. So even though a lot of us in the chat gave the 7th to Marshall, CompuBox actually gave Shields a slight advantage. It might have been that last 10-second flurry she finished with. Shields off to a good start here in the 8th. Nice left hook, right hand lands for Shields. Shields letting her hands go more than Marshall to start this round. Marshall landing a right uppercut, but not a lot of steam on it. She looks tired. Shields loading up on a right hand to the body, but just missed it. Marshall staying on the front foot. Back and Shields in the ropes. Shields launches a 1-2, and Marshall able to do enough defensively, not get hit by it. Shields launches another 1-2 and another 1-2. Marshall not getting hit as clean by these 1-2s as she was in the first 5. Shields, after a minute in the 8th, has the advantage, though. Good combination up close by Shields. Winged a right hand over the top and brought her left hand behind it, and then another right hand. Marshall, fatigued, clinching quite a bit, breathing heavy. 1-2 for Shields. Not landing as clean as before, but she's still getting off more than Marshall. Shields wings a right hand over the top off the jab. Misses it, but she's busier. Shields with good defense on the ropes, and she smiles and sticks her tongue out. Oh, Shields almost walked Marshall right into a left hook, and she landed the right hand after it. Marshall not throwing any punches after eating that right hand, just doing enough defensively and then gets into the clinch. This is a Shields round. Left hook, right hand for Shields, and that right hand had a lot on it. Might have buzzed Marshall a little bit, but Marshall tough. Wings a big right uppercut, misses it. Misses a right hand, looking tired as Marshall. Shields, good defense on the ropes to close the 8th, and it's 6-2 Claressa Shields. She wins that 8th round. 78-74 Claressa Shields. Here we go. 9 and 10 coming up. Shields has this fight one on my card, but we are in England. She's going to want to win at least one of these last two to feel a little bit more comfortable going to the final decision. When you're on the road, you want to at least win 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 12 as opposed to 6 out of 10 or 7 out of 12. And on my card, Shields is 1 round away from doing that, from putting 7 out of 10 in the bank. She's already got 6 out of 10 in the bank on my card. Gave Shields the first 5, gave Marshall 6 and 7, and definitely just gave Shields the 8. Marshall looks very fatigued, taking a lot of deep breaths in there. Here we go for round 9. It's been a very, very, very good performance by Claressa Shields and a game performance for Savannah Marshall. Shields firing off on the inside as Marshall crowds her and puts the pressure on her. Shields getting off with good combinations. Marshall, though, getting Shields on the ropes and lands hard to the body and tees off with some clubbing shots up top, not getting in clean, but having some effect. Shields fighting well off the ropes, coming right back. Now Shields turns Marshall and puts her on the ropes for a minute and lands a 1-2, and they clinch. Shields digs a right hand to the body and then a left hook, and then another left hook lands, and she brings a right hand behind it. Never throwing one punch at a time is Claressa Shields tonight. Combinations, putting them together like she always does. Great jab for Claressa now. Left hook lands for Claressa. Blocks everything from from Marshall as Marshall continues forward. Marshall pressing forward, gets Shields on the ropes, but Shields with good defense covers up well. Shields again backed up onto the ropes, but slips well off the shoulder roll and makes Marshall miss. Marshall letting go of a nice combination up top, and Shields gets her hands to block, but the left hook to the body gets in for Savannah Marshall. Marshall still behind in this round a little bit, 30 seconds left. Shields off with 2 swinging right hands, off with another right hand off the jab, but trying to take her head off. Shields with the double jab. Out jabbing Marshall for much of the night, all of the night. Marshall with that up jab. Baumgardner was able to out jab Michaela Mayer from a lot of their fight with her up jab, but hasn't been the case for Savannah Marshall. A left hook right hand lands for Shields at the bell, and that's it. I got a 7-2 Claressa Shields. Even if Marshall has a big 10th round, I don't see how she wins this fight. And I doubt she would think different if she's being honest. Last round coming up for Claressa Shields. She's backed up her talk as she always has. Jalon Reed says Shields needs this last round or they're going to rob her with the draw. I don't think so. Silas Grace says embarrassing one-sided commentary. Do you have this fight closer than 7 rounds to 2? Yeah, Gabe, I don't know. 7 rounds to 2 seems pretty fair. It's not like I got it 9-0 or 8-1. Marshall's been game. She's been on the front foot, but she hasn't been accurate. She got some good body work in the second half of the fight, but Shields' body work has been much more impressive. And then she's blistered her with combinations up top. So CompuBox would agree with me. They have Claressa outlanding her in every single round but one. 161 to 121 connect advantage for Claressa Shields. And a good right uppercut by Savannah Marshall to start this 10th round. Oh, and a good straight right hand, too, as Shields pulling back, trying to land some hard combinations off the back foot. But Marshall with a decent start to the round. But Shields not fazed by anything Marshall lands tonight, really. Marshall with a good combination with Shields in the corner. Shields trying to return fire, but Marshall getting the better of it to start the 10th. Shields getting Marshall back on the ropes now, but Marshall digging in a hard right hand to the body and then a right hand up top. Shields letting her hands go in combinations, but getting her shots blocked. Shields letting go of a 1-2. Marshall blocks and falls back into the clinch. Minute left in the fight. Marshall seems to be a little bit ahead here in this 10th round, winning this round, but behind in the fight. Shields with 2 hard left hooks to the body, but Marshall punching in between those left hooks with combinations. Right hand lands for Shields off the jab. Marshall letting her hands go in close. Trying to club away. Shooting some right uppercuts on the inside, clubbing with some body shots, but Shields good at smothering most of her offense and exploding back with her own. Both fighters a little tired and missing on the inside, winging shots. Marshall, the more tired of the two. Right uppercut on the inside for Marshall. Another little right uppercut on the inside for Marshall. Shields exploding with combinate, lands a straight right on the inside, but Marshall staying on top of her. May have done enough to win this 10th round. Oh, right uppercut lands for Marshall. And Marshall may have done enough to win that round. That both fighters go back to their corners with their arms up. But Claressa Shields certainly won this fight. Could see it 97-93 Shields. I think that's the card. I'm fine with 98-92 Shields as well. Good fight. Shields certainly won this fight. Marshall, very game. Never stopped coming forward. Never stopped letting her hands go. CompuBox final has it 174 landed for Shields to 132 for Marshall. Also out through Marshall. Threw 80 more punches at 471 than did Marshall. 37-34 connect percentage advantage for Shields. But Marshall, 132 out of 391, 34 connect percentage. Certainly had some spots against Claressa Shields. Had a good 6th and 7th. May have even done enough to win the 10th. I think she may have done enough to win the 10th, but Shields definitely wins this fight. Let's see what we get once we get to the cards. Nah, no rematch needed. You know what? I don't even like MMA, but I guess that's really the move for Claressa, because no one's going to beat her right now in boxing, in females boxing, in the middleweight, super welterweight, or super middleweight divisions. So, you know, she's essentially conquered the sport. And they hug. These two hug before we get to a verdict. I actually think there's really less animosity between these two than there was Mayer and Baumgardner. I think this was more of a professional rivalry dating back to when they were amateurs. Mayer and Baumgardner got more personal, but I think these two will be fine after this fight. So should be a unanimous decision incoming for Claressa Shields. Let's see what we get. Hope you guys enjoy the commentary chat. Yeah, I expect unanimous. Let's see here. Joe Thompson with the UK flag, with the Union Jack, of course, in his avatar. Marshall won comfortably. Are you sure you're not loving, your countrywoman too much there, brother? All right, here we go. The judges' cards. 96-94. And unanimously, 97-93 twice. For the winner, the GWOAT, Claressa Shields, remains the GWOAT. And she is, of course, animated. I think she's crying a little bit. She's very happy. Deserves to be. She knew she was going to win this fight. She knew she was the better fighter. She just had to go in there and show it. And Savannah was very game. I think her pride, she really ate a lot of shots tonight. She's got some tough skin, no cuts, not a lot of bruising either, just reddening throughout. She was reddened all over, chest, shoulders, face, abdomen, early in this fight. But she didn't get hit as clean in the second half of the fight. She did work her way into the fight in the second half of the fight. She was very game. And even though she ate a lot of shots, at the same time, she was kind of tricky to hit because she's so long and tall, and she has that nice awkward placement of her chin behind her shoulder. And what's Claressa telling her now? Claressa just seems to be dapping her up and giving her a lot of respect. Claressa is a great champion. Marshall should give her respect. John David Jackson comes over and gives respect. All smiles for Claressa Shields. Once again, this isn't her first time being undisputed middleweight champion. This is the second time she is the undisputed middleweight champion. She was the undisputed super welterweight champion. The greatest female boxer of all time, and she proves herself again tonight. She's pretty much conquered this sport. I love this sport. I don't even watch MMA, but from a professional athlete standpoint, I imagine that's the real challenge for her at this point. Can she conquer mixed martial arts? Because no one's beating her in boxing. The only thing that's going to beat her in boxing is her wanting to have a baby and step away from the sport, you know? So, thank you, Johnny. Johnny Black. Claressa said, that's definitely the hardest fight of my career to Marshall. Yeah, it was. It was her hardest fight. And it says a lot about her dominance because it wasn't really that hard. It wasn't life or death or anything close to it. It was just competitive down the stretch in the second half of the fight. But that shows you how dominant she's been. You know, Claressa gets a lot of people that don't like her for whatever reasons. But this woman is Serena. She's Tiger. She's Jordan. She's Floyd. She is that. She is that. And that's no hyperbole. That's no hype. That is who she is. She's on that scale in her sport. So shout out to Claressa. She did a great job. Her combinations, mid-range to close range, she just ate her up. She ate her up for most of the fight. But her explosiveness and combination punching and hand speed, some of the best, male or female in the game. So good for Claressa. Got to be a beautiful moment for her. And then on the undercard, Alicia Baumgardner, to recap, did a great job. She got off to a 3-0 lead against Michaela Mayer. Then Mayer dogged effort, came back, tied it up at 3-3, heading into the final 3 or 4 rounds. And then Alicia Baumgardner readjusted, recentered, recalibrated, won the 7th and the 8th. Then Mayer, showing the real heart of a champion, had a good, strong 9th round to put the fight in the balance in the 10th. But Baumgardner, like she was for most of the fight, was just a step ahead, a little more savvy as a pro, as a counter puncher, and was a little more accurate in the 10th and did enough to win that fight. But 2 really good fights, a really good night of professional boxing over there in England with the 4 ladies. They showed out. They showed skills. They showed heart. I'm not just doing the virtue signal or nothing like that. Those were 2 very good fights fought at a very high level. And Shields and Baumgardner come out on top. So I think we're gonna get out of here for a little while, and then we're gonna come back to you guys in a little bit once we kick off the Wilder Helenius pay-per-view card. We'll be back for Frank Sanchez kicks off that card. I'll also be doing Devin Haney's rematch with George Kambosos live round by round. So keep it locked in with us on Fight Hype throughout the day, all day. But yeah, we're gonna take a little lunch break in between this card and getting ready for Wilder Helenius. Anything you guys want to talk about in the chat before we jump back in 2 hours from now and see what you guys got for me? Yeah, I don't want to see a rematch in this fight. I want to see a rematch of the co-main. Mayer and Baumgardner deserves a rematch. This doesn't need a rematch. And like I said, I don't know if anyone, I don't even know if there's a point in Claressa fighting any of these girls anymore in boxing. They can't beat her. No. Benji said, Metalhead said, who really won? Judges got it right in both cards. Judges got it right both times. But all right, guys. Yeah, I guess that does it for this stream. Jump back on with us in a couple hours, and let's get it locked in for Wilder Helenius, and let's get it locked in for Haney Kambosos too. See you guys in a few.